When family business owners talk about conflict, they often focus on the people involved. But in our experience, most conflict in family businesses isn't caused by bad intentions or difficult personalities. It's caused by unclear roles, blurred decision-making, and a lack of governance. So let's meet our hypothetical case study. It's the Carter family company. Here's the background. The Carter family owns a second-generation manufacturing business based in the Southeast. The company was founded by their father, Bill Carter. Bill's two sons, Mark and David, both own equal shares of the business and are actively involved in leadership. On paper, arrangement looks fair. This is how the business operates today. Mark is focused on growth. He wants to invest in new equipment, expand into adjacent markets, and professionalize the organization. His brother David, however, is focused on stability. He takes pride in the quality of the work, the long-tenured employees, and the way things have always been done. Tensions between the brothers is creeping into family gatherings. Mark feels the business is being held back. David feels the soul of the company is being threatened. At the same time, the company's financial performance is becoming harder to interpret. Capital investments are debated without clear return thresholds, cash flow projections are questioned, and no one is aligned on how much risk the business can afford to take. They know something needs to change. They just don't know where to start.
And I'm thinking of a client that we started working with last year. It's like financial reporting, right? When there's not a good structured financial report that is consistent, you end up not being able to really manage your business. You don't have the financial information you need to be able to make some of those decisions. One of the things that we see when there's not a good financial reporting system, everybody's questioning the numbers. They question where that production number isn't right, or that sales number is understated. And so they're arguing about the numbers, whereas the numbers, there needs to be one source of truth for the numbers. If you spend your time arguing if that number's right or wrong, you're never able to actually use the numbers.
And there has to be an established confidence in the process for producing the financial information. And that probably seems awful simplistic, but it's one of the bricks that needs to go above the foundation in order to create a fluid working organization. And so it's boring as hell, but if you don't have standards and somebody who can execute on those standards, the financial reporting, then the result is exactly what you were describing, people questioning the results of it. And so the competency of the people involved in creating the financial statements, whether they're inside or outside the business, is clearly important.
So Jay, if you were advising the Carter family, what financial governance structures would you recommend to reduce conflict and help improve clarity?
If I was talking to this group, I would tell them to go talk to your key managers and bring them into the process and let them help you tell. And of course, they have to be protected in a way and know that they can freely. Because if you get a situation where they're only telling you what they think you want to hear, that's a terrible situation. So I think that's one way to do it, but to also have those guardrails and specific processes documented. And we're not talking about lots of paper explaining what the law is. We're just saying that we're going to do this. This is the way we'll reach a financial capital allocation on a project that you want to invest time. So these are the things you got to have. We'll make a decision with the key principles involved. There's no magic. The magic is in the process itself and what it creates.
I'm always surprised, Jay, when we go into companies. A lot of them are big companies. I'm talking 50 to maybe 100 million of annual revenue. They don't have a budgeting process. Their view of a budget is it's a waste of time, or they don't have the resources to build it. I'm going back to what you said about the rigor, the planning rigor, putting in that process of building a budget and including the management team, like you said. What that's doing, one, is it's at least giving you those guardrails inside the financial statement that you're talking about, but it's helping get your management team aligned to the direction of the company and how that company is going to be measured, and ultimately, hopefully, how that manager is going to be measured. It takes some time to shift an organization from kind of being loose on the structure to tightening the structure, financial budgeting and project planning with capital allocation, as you said. You put that in place, that strengthens your governance and it helps make decision making faster and clearer. And quite honestly, I think what we've seen over time is with good budgeting and planning system, good forecasting system, you actually have better and more consistent results.
And it takes the pressure off individuals. It's not left to circumstance. That's what helps people feel good about the results, frankly. Oh, do I have to do that again? It forces you into thinking about what your particular part of the business is and what the business as a whole is doing and how all that comes together to make sense for the goal. But I would add that aligning all of that with your financial guardrails and your own particular set of risk tolerances, you can remove the emotion from those decision-making practices. I would add that you can't be entirely frictionless in that decision-making process because, frankly, that friction usually results in the best decision.